Oops, let me get this going here. Yeah, and then I'll come. And then whatever your, oh. I think we are coming in live here. A lot of you joining in from your last session. So thanks for joining us. This is going to be unleashing the power of AI. Actually, it'd probably help you all if I could share my screen, right? That's part of this. Perfect. All right. Say that again. Thank you everyone for joining us for Unleashing the Power of AI, Transforming Sales Demo Automation for Maximum Impact with Robin Hemmerich. So my name is Lindsay Doherty. I am the AE here at Consensus, and I will be your moderator for today's session. I'm super excited for topic. I hear about it all the time from people talking about Consensus. So I'm excited to get going. But first and foremost, DemoFest is presented by Consensus. Consensus is leading the world in a new era of demo automation. So our platform gets your buyers what they need, when they need it, and then it multiplies your revenues team's impact with unique insights on those buyers. So as a result, you'll see faster close times, larger deals, and higher close rates. You can learn more, of course, at goconsensus.com or view the automated micro demo at the link in the Docs tab on the right of your screen. A few housekeeping items here. We encourage you to participate in today's session, of course. So on the right side of your console, you can see a few ways to engage with us throughout the session. The chat function will allow you, of course, to engage with us as well as other attendees. Throughout the session, you may see a few polls, which Robin has included, and we encourage you to participate as your feedback is really important to us. Finally, our speaker will be taking questions from the audience at the end of the session, but definitely don't wait until the end. Feel free to put in your questions and we'll make sure that we get to them towards the end here. So if at any time you're having technical difficulties, head to the gear on the bottom of your screen, and there you will see a help document, and that's going to help troubleshoot common issues. And now, without further ado, I'd like to introduce our speaker, Robin. Robin is a member of the Solution Consulting Environments team at NYOB, where he supervises a production of pre-sales demo videos. With a diverse professional background encompassing finance and ERP software, online technology, and broadcast media advertising, Robin brings forth a wealth of experience. His experience extends to media production and campaign management, making him a versatile and accomplished professional in the area of engaging video content. And with that, I will turn the rest of the time over to you, Robin.
Thank you, Lindsay. I'm just going to share my screen. Okay, I hope you can now all see my screen. It's coming up. Yeah, there. Thanks, Lindsay, for that introduction, and Consensus for having me. And I'm glad you can all join me today because I'm very excited about today's topic, which is unleashing the power of AI, transforming sales demo automation for maximum impact. And in case you're wondering, yes, we did use AI to come up with that title. So today, in a nutshell, we're going to spend a good 30 or 40 minutes talking about how we at MYOB, have started to use AI in our Consensus video production workflow, as well as in our day-to-day, and how AI has helped us to produce videos faster, of higher quality, using less resources. So, and I hope at the end of this presentation, you'll walk away with perhaps some good ideas and be inspired how AI can help you in your organization. Before we get started, just a bit of information about myself. Lindsay did a great job already explaining my background, but I'm Robin from MYOB, and I'm located in Melbourne in Australia. MYOB, what do? We deliver a business management platform to the local markets of Australia and New Zealand, and we sell a variety of financial and accountancy software products. Not just that, our platform caters to small businesses all the way up to ERP enterprise level, 1,000+ employees. We're one of the original startups in Australia, and we've been operating nonstop since 1991. I'll tell you a bit more about my direct team later, but at MYB, we use Consensus as well to automate some of our demonstrations. And we're doing quite well. We currently have a couple of hundred videos in our library. Before I joined MYB, I moved around different industries quite a bit, countries as well. I'm originally from the Netherlands, and I've lived in Northern Ireland, the UK, Belfast for a couple of years. In Australia, I spent over a decade in television and advertising, working for a major national broadcaster, and as well as in the IT industry for a web hoster. And this is back sort of when cloud computing started to emerge in 2006. And also, I've even spent a couple of years in film production, and I used to work for a production house that was nominated for a Academy Award or an Oscar the same year for the best foreign language film. So long story short, I'm a jack of all trades, and hopefully with enough gravitas and weight behind me to discuss our subject for today. And as I mentioned, I'll be talking about, unleashing the power of AI. So today it's not so much about what AI is from a technical point of view. Instead, in the next 40 minutes or so, I'd like to show you how we started using and adapting AI at MYB, and how we've used it in Consensus, and how this can help you, hopefully. Now, before we kick off today, I want to quickly take you back about 20 years ago. I mentioned earlier I worked for a film production company, and back then I was at university and I was doing an internship there. And we were working on a television show, I remember. And for one of the scenes that we're working on, we needed a very specific prop in the background. So the director wanted a television playing in the background with on that a scene from a band called Mud with their song Dynamite. And I can't remember exactly why. I think the director really liked the dance that the band was doing, and she wanted to sort of put it on the screen as an advertorial. So like, buy this CD now. And what we needed to do was find that video and then add a voiceover and some graphics to that video. I spent a full 3 days working on that. To give you an idea of what took so long, I had to spend about 1 day on the phone calls and emails, just trying to find a company or a resource that actually had the video. I found a company that had it in their archives, which was the National Moving Image and Sound Archive. So I had to jump on the phone with them. Then I had to book and pay a researcher from the archive to actually go downstairs and collect the physical tape, watch the tape and find the right time codes and make a physical copy. Then pay for a courier to have it shipped back to our office, and hire a voiceover artist to narrate the fake promo. And then I had to find a graphic designer to actually create the graphics and the text overlay. And of course, the whole admin trail afterwards, like paying invoices and then updating the crew with what I found. So yeah, a lot of steps there. And of course, YouTube launched a year later in 2005, and this would have taken a couple of minutes. And today, all of that can be done in a couple of clicks. So we have so many more tools at our disposal 20 years later, and now AI technology has been added to our toolbox as well. So today I'm going to talk you through some of the innovations on the market now that can turn this 3-day endeavor into a couple of minutes workflow. It's certainly interesting times. Like, I started preparing this presentation in October because I did it in some other form. And AI developments are so fast that even a lot of features that we were really excited about in October have already become mainstream these days. That's how fast it's going in just a couple of months. Okay, so the agenda for today. I'll quickly tell you a bit more about our team and what we do. Then I'd like to quickly touch on how we use AI for our day-to-day tasks at MYB. So think of our business as usual, our discovery meetings, our demonstrations, and how we set ourselves up for success later. And then at the core of the presentation, I want to talk a bit more about the 3 stages of video production. So the pre-production, which is the planning and preparation of our Consensus videos, our production, so actually putting the videos together, and then our post-production in a way, so creating collateral for our videos, how we put together the talk tracks for the videos. We're looking at personal introductions and video titles, etc. And we'll finish with the opportunity to ask some questions and do a survey. Some of my colleagues are attending this presentation as well, and they've promised they'll throw some really difficult questions my way. So thank you, team. Okay, about our team. I'm part of the Solution Consulting Environments team at MYB. So in a nutshell, we demonstrate software and prospects for our prospects, and our environments team looks after the demonstration website. So we're making sure they're all working well. They've got the required data in them, they get updated. But we also, in that same team, look after consensus. And we use consensus to automate our demonstrations as much as we can. I coordinate the creation of videos within our team, and that comes with quite a bit of coordination and project management work to get all the videos produced and created in time. And our consultants help us with the videos where they can, but we want to use as many tools as we can just to make it easier for them. All right, so today we'll talk a lot about video production and AI, but it's not just it's not just video production where we use AI for. So, and I'm sure there's lots of other businesses, probably yourself listening as well, that are starting to use AI in their day-to-day. So before we dive into video production, let's have a quick look of other things you can do with AI within the company. Just to let you know that some of the examples I use are actually real live examples. So I've blurred out names here and there. I've blurred out names of the tools as well. And as for those tools, like just because we use a tool, that doesn't mean it's the definitive tool. There's a couple of variants out there. We have Copilot, we've got ChatGPT. They all do the same thing in a way or similar, and we're not preferring or promoting one tool. Okay, so let's have a look. In our day-to-day, we started using intelligent searching. So without giving too much away of our internal company structure, we've got a lot of different systems. Like we have file storage, we've got our wikis, we've got our productivity software, we got communication, training, different platforms, developments. So we use a lot of different platforms and software, and without an oversight, things can get lost. So we use an AI search tool that can be used to find company-wide documentation. So no matter where that information is sitting, that tool will find it. So you can think of documents sitting on SharePoint or in emails or other platforms like Salesforce or HubSpot and the likes, and even our phone calls. It finds our phone calls and looks through them, the ones that we've recorded. So it searches pretty much cross-platform, every nook and cranny within our organization. Now, why would you do this, and what's the benefit, and how does AI fit in there? It's because the tool does not let us just search, it lets us interact with all our documents and our resources. So simply said, we can ask questions about anything in our organization, and the AI will use real internal resources to answer. It's almost like ChatGPT in a way, but it just looks at our internal real documents. And it's like we have a support team that has all the answers at the ready, and it can advise us with insights. So you'll save a lot of time and frustration not having to look for that lost file. Or if you can't remember when something was recorded, that tool will find it straight away. Now, we're going to use this tool a lot today, so I'll come back to it later. But I just want to show you some really quick examples of what it can do. So you can ask, for example, things like, what have I done this week? What documents have I updated this week? Or what projects am I working on? Or have we documented this process? Tell me more about this project. So if you're still not clear about this tool, don't worry, because we'll come back a few times to it during the presentation. Now, similar to the previous tool, we also use some software that lets us record our phone calls. Not unusual. When you hear the message, we record our calls for training and quality purpose. This is a prime example of that. The AI aspect of this software shows us things like you can see on the screen, like a summary for every phone call, action points discussed, questions asked by the caller, keywords. So it's a very handy tool to get some insights. Here's another example where it actually displays red flags during a call or negative signs. Now, this is where it's getting interesting. So this tool, similar to our previous tool, has a function called Ask Anything. That means you can ask it anything. Like you can ask any interaction that we've had with a customer that was recorded. We can ask it like, have we ever discussed pricing, for example, or what challenges is the customer experiencing? So benefit there, you don't have to really plow through notes or memos, just ask the AI. Here are some more in-depth examples. For example, we could ask it to plan our follow-up meeting by identify the 5 topics to present during a demonstration. So these will be topics that we discussed in our discovery, for example, or write me a presentation introduction for this customer, also based on previous correspondence with them. So it finds the right tone of voice, discusses relevant topics, and it's a great tool that's helped us a lot. Now, I'd like to put a question out there for the chat only. And if you want to, you can put it down in the chat. So I'd be curious to see how people are using or how you are using AI in your company. So I'll give you all a chance to put something down, but I'll get a quick sip of water. You don't have to name or list any tools, but yeah, keen to know what processes you're using AI for, like meeting notes, for example, or writing proposals. So I'm just going to get a sip of water and then we'll have a look. Oh yeah, definitely some tools in there. And to give you a hint, there's a couple of tools in there that we're actually using. So great. So meeting transcription summaries, that's great indeed. Yeah, if you use SharePoint, there's a transcription function in there. You can any video you can transcribe. Fact finding, writing, video scripts. We'll get to that. Great example. Yeah. ChatGPT to check emails before sending, just in case. Some people are mentioning, very good point, that tools are restricted. They can only use certain tools within their organization. It's similar for us, actually. Yeah. Some great suggestions in the chat, so thank you for that. Okay, so for our business as usual, so we've shown you how to use AI to gain visibility by asking open questions to a company-wide search tool, and how you can quickly gain key takeaways and insights and action points from your phone calls. So you can set yourself up for success later in the sales funnel. Now let's move on to my child, so to say, the video production. So we've spoken about AI for everyday tasks. Now time to get to our videos. And as I mentioned, we produce a lot of consensus videos at MYB, a couple of hundred already. So I'll show you how we've been starting to use AI, or how we want to use AI as well in the future for the pre-production of those videos. Pre-production is all the steps involved before we actually start recording the videos. So the planning and the preparation and the script writing. Now, to start very basically, where do we start? Like, how do we even decide what videos we will make? So do we create a video when the need arises, or can we be proactive about this? And how can AI help us there? So we look at a couple of factors normally. Mainly, we want to try to avoid automated repetitive demos. So any basic functionality that we get asked again and again to demonstrate, ideally we produce a video for that, so the customer can have a look themselves, and we don't have to, we clear up time to focus on these really tentpole features that we want to highlight ourselves. So the value there is that we get time back to demo the big functionality. We want to naturally promote new functionality, so when new features come along, we want to showcase them in the video. We want to shorten the sales cycle, and what I mean by that is if we have any customer follow-ups or discovery, these are usually more tailored and personalized videos, so we don't really use AI for that much. And lastly, but not leastly, to identify gaps in our video content. So frequently asked questions that we simply don't have a video for yet. So how can we link that back to AI? How can it be valuable here? So remember, in the previous steps, I showed you how we can get insights from our documents and call recordings, and how we can ask any questions. Let's put that in action to determine our video topics. So say if we want to find out what questions we get asked a lot during presentations. So we want to see if we can make a video about that topic to save everyone some time in the future. Now let's ask, if I click play, this is a recording, so I've already done this, but if I ask the system, what was the most common question asked during our demonstrations over the last 3 months, for example? Now note that the tool here is not just searching through documents, it's also looking at our recorded phone calls, and it's looking at real conversations that we've had with our customers, and emails, notes that we took, contacts, etc. So it's compiling answers now, as you can see, and yeah, a list pops up with commonly asked questions. So we can handpick topics from there that we think jump out and decide for ourselves, like, okay, let's make a video about that. And these are all real valuable insights, and they're gathered in seconds, and barely putting in any effort ourselves here, so that's great. Let's do one more. So we want to make some videos about some of our product strengths, for example, functionality that we want to showcase for our customers. Now let's ask it, what are some of the key strengths of our product? And again, it looks at real conversations that we've had and functionality that we've promoted in the past. And we know that these could be topics that present well based on what AI has advised us. So if you give it a few seconds, there it comes up. Versatility, real-time visibility, inventory management, cloud-based system, all real insights. So yeah, very valuable information. Now, writing video scripts. So at this stage, we would have selected a topic to create a video about based on our research. Most of our videos are scripted, meaning we need a script naturally. AI can set us up with a really nice draft in a few ways. So again, we're using the same tools that have the oversight of all the resources in our company. A couple of ways you can do it. You can literally ask it, like write a script for a 5-minute video about MYB advanced sales orders, for example. And here's what it comes up with. And yeah, it's based on real insights from our company. It's all perfectly usable as a first draft, neatly presented in, yeah, like scenario form, almost like a screenplay. Let's do one more. So we can do the same workflow, but actually based on a persona. So if you look at the top right there, we've asked it to write a script for a 5-minute demonstration video for aimed at a chief financial officer. And it comes up with information that's relevant for a CFO. Like think of financial reporting, dashboards. So yeah, that's all a great way to, at the very least, set up a quick draft. So the benefits here are obvious. So we save so much time not having to write these scripts ourselves. You still need a person to fact check, edit, and execute the script. Like part of what I'm presenting is also wishful thinking for the future. It's we don't write all our scripts with AI, but we definitely started using some of them as a guideline or as a first draft. Okay, so in the previous steps, we've shown you how you can put AI to work in the pre-production of a video. So by doing so, you'll be able to easily identify ideas for your video, like gaps in your content, or opportunities to showcase the strength of your product. And how AI can help you save time and resources by writing scripts for a video, for example, based on personas or existing documentation. So we know what we need to make. We've got our script ready at this stage. So let's move into production. Now, what tools can we now use to actually put the video together? And how can AI simplify this for us and make it quicker with better quality? And how do we get some more value out of those tools? So naturally, we'll also be editing our videos together, but I won't show you that stage because that's I think people producing videos would have worked with editing software before. But I want to start with an often overlooked area that I'm personally quite passionate about, which is audio. So the recording of our voiceovers. And it's easy to overlook or not realize the importance and value of good quality audio in your videos. There's plenty of research available, example on the screen, that shows that audiences are very forgiving towards bad quality video, but they won't tolerate bad audio. So if they can't hear you, or if they have to focus on what you're saying, you'll lose them. And that's a very important aspect. So our consultants, they're great at providing demonstrations, but they're not always seasoned content creators. And what I mean by that is they don't have access to professional equipment like high quality microphones, recording studios or editing softwares, or the right environment to record, like a quiet room without background noise. We're not exactly looking at Hollywood quality, definitely not, but we're looking at the best result that we can get from a run-of-the-mill headset, so to say, like what I'm using. Now, there are some amazing tools available, and some of them are actually free, that can enhance your audio recording and return you studio quality results. So the AI smarts behind it, they basically filter out any background noise, they'll boost your own voice. What we do is we let our consultants record their voiceover in any way, whatever microphone they like. We grab their audio file and we run it through this tool, and the tool does the rest. So it's like a drag and drop interface pretty much. And the results are absolutely fantastic. They can, an average recording sounds like a quality studio podcast. It's great, and there's no effort involved. And we've actually saved money by not having to buy hi-fi microphones or high-quality microphones. All right, let's move on to the system. Okay, so I want to show you an example of that tool. So on the left, I've got an original audio. So that's the original recording from one of our consultants. And on the right, I've got the enhanced version of that. Now, I tested sharing audio before, and it sounds like there was an echo. So if you can't hear the examples properly, you can look in your interface in the Docs tab and see links there to the actual samples as well. So there'll be a link to the original audio and the AI enhanced. So I'm going to play you a few seconds. We'll probably get an echo. Let's listen to what the original recording sounded like.
When it comes to mind on board, to help you simplify and make it efficient, we came up with a onboarding module.
I can hear an echo, but I can also hear the essence, which is lots of background noise. Yeah, low volume voice as well. Now we put it through the tool and it sounded like this.
When it comes to client onboarding, to help you simplify and make it more efficient, we came up with a client onboarding module.
Just imagine no echo in the end result. So I hope you can hear that there's a big difference there. Like all the noise has disappeared. It just sounds like she's proper in a studio recording to a phone there. So this has been really helpful with our videos. We even went back into old videos and ran them through this filter, and great tool. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna leave a few seconds here for people if they want to download the samples themselves and have a listen. And water break. I'll have a quick look in the chat. Some people use AI for RFPs. We do as well. It's a great suggestion. It's outside the scope of my presentation today, but we use an RFP tool as well. Yeah, some sentiments in the chat feeling that yeah, companies really have to embrace these technologies because else they miss out. I definitely agree. It's like going back to 1999 and saying like, yeah, the internet, yeah, it's all right so far, but let's see how it goes. Like, yeah, obviously the tremendous developments in the last 3 decades. Okay, I'm moving on. Now, I've shown you how you can get high quality voiceovers from our own recordings, but can we take that one step further by not having to record your voice at all? Can we use AI to generate a voiceover for us that sounds like a human? Why would we do that? First of all, like our solution consultants spend a lot of time recording their voiceovers for the video. It's not just the recording, it's also the tweaking, the re-recording, being not completely happy with the recording. So it would be great if you can take this effort away from them. Voice generation and text-to-voice have been around for a long time. I'm giving away my age a little bit, but I remember playing around with them in 1993 already, early 90s. But AI technologies have improved this process so much. So you can now have an artificial voice really interpret a text. So it can add intonation, the pitch differences, it can anticipate the sentence and much more. I do want to stipulate that we always try to give our videos a personal touch. So we would only use this to demonstrate like generic functionality, not if we're addressing a customer, for example, but any repetitive videos that we can punch out using AI, we're looking into using this tool. So we're using a solution at the moment, or we started using a solution that it takes our entire script and we pick a narrator, we pick the accent that we want, and it reads it out for us. And the results are pretty good. So yeah, the advantages here are plenty really. We save time, we save therefore money. The AI spits out the narration and we can make tweaks and edits ourselves. And it also protects against staff turnover. So if someone has recorded a video for us and leaves the company a couple of months later, rather than us having to redo the voice later or make tweaks, we've got this central tool available, and we can make changes to the AI voice instead. And our consultants told us that not having to record an edit voiceover can save them up to 2 days of work. So that's great savings there. Some solutions now are so good that you can barely tell that it's a person. You can even clone your own voice. Now the proof is in the pudding. So I've recorded my own voice in the next slide. So You've listened to my voice now for probably a good 25 minutes or so. So hopefully you've had a chance to gauge the way I speak, hear my accent. So I'll play a sample of an AI clone of my voice. So same here with the audio. If you can't hear the audio or if you hear an echo, you can go to the docs and there'll be a sample there called Robin's voice. So it's, I'm quite happy with it. It's not exactly realistic, but let's have a listen.
This is a good test to see if Lovo can create a convincing, authentic voice to promote MYOB Advanced. I wonder if these voices can be used for consensus videos.
So I'm quite happy with it. It's given me a bit more of an American accent, but other than that, it picks up the nuances of my voice quite well and my accent.
This is a good test.
Okay, now with that sample, and I'll give you some time to listen to yourself if you haven't listened to it or if you couldn't hear it. So there's a poll. Lindsay, if you could launch the poll. And yeah, did you find my virtual voice convincing or not? You can vote it in the poll. So I'm going to give you about 30 seconds or so. Okay, we've got 14 votes so far. Let's give it a bit longer. Okay, I'll close the poll in a few seconds, but if you can't see the results yet, it's an overwhelming yes so far, so that's great to see. All right, let's open the poll. So you should be able to see the results there. So it looks like the massive majority, about 85% or so, voted yes. So that's great to see. Yeah. Okay, a couple more tools that we've looked at. Some of them we're using, some of them we're not yet. Enough about audio, but let's have a look at the other tools. So one tweak that can really lift the video, we find, is by removing filler words, and we all know them. I've probably used them during this presentation as well. The awkward pauses sometimes if you don't know what to say, or the hesitation. So quite a few AI tools can now automatically find those filler words. So on the screen you can see an example of those tools. It literally flags the filler words there, and you can select yourself if you want to remove them or if you want to replace them with a pause. It's a very simple but effective tweak. And I guess filler words, I just had myself there. Filler words can distract your audience, or and you can almost automate the removal of these. I feel now that I've talked about all of a sudden I'm umming a lot more myself. Interesting. Yeah, very handy tools. Very quick touchdown on virtual backgrounds. Cheating a little bit here. I'm not confidently putting this in the AI basket, but it's just amazing to see what's happened in the last couple of years. So before the pandemic started, I didn't really see many virtual backgrounds. You had to get out a green screen yourself. I remember I put a green screen in my backyard to record this background. Then the pandemic came along, and all of a sudden we started using these productivity tools, and you had your virtual backgrounds. But it's up until quite recently always been hard to actually record yourself if you were not in a meeting with a virtual background. So there's lots of tools now coming to the market, or integrating with SharePoint, for example, where you can actually add your virtual background now. So this is a really simple way of adding a bit of professionalism to it. You can add your company logo in the background, still get that personal touch as well. So yeah, just letting you know that these tools are out there now. Some of them are free. Okay, so I briefly want to touch on this topic. This is probably when people speak about AI and creativity, what comes to mind a lot, and that's generative AI. So it's not something we've used much in our team yet, but you might recall from our opening earlier, the list of tasks I had to go through to get the little music video. Quite a few items on that list depended on other people and other factors. For example, we needed spend money on a graphic designer, allow time for them to complete the work. And for existing material, we had to worry about copyright. So generative AI is pretty much the art of having AI create graphics for you, or imaging, or come up with something. And I'm confident that most people on this call today would have already seen some AI art. It's everywhere these days. So there's bizarre images, there's cat jokes, there's deep fakes. But how can we use this? I wouldn't call it a gimmick, but how can we use this for videos? Well, you can think of if you need like a fictional logo, for example, for a company, or if you need to give a persona a face, or if you need to create icons or graphics, then you can use this tool as well. So you can even use it to remove graphics as well. So if you want to anonymize a screenshot, remove sensitive data from it or phone numbers, you can use it there as well. So, and we don't necessarily have to worry about resources or costs. I was going to say copyright as well, but there's a really big development going on there. Think of the Hollywood strikes, for example. So I'm not confidently saying like you don't have to worry about copyright. So always check with the tool that you're using. But there's plenty of tools available at the moment from Bing, from Adobe, Midjourney as well. Sorry. So one tool that we're currently not using, but that's really upcoming, is called prompt to video or text to video. Basically, this tool, you can feed it an article or a script, like a demo script or a talk track that you've created. Prompt to video then reads that script and then uses AI to pair it up with stock videos from its library, or now even makes up random videos as well. So how can this help you? For example, if you got little time or resources available, but you quickly want to put a video out there, that can be your tool. And because it's using stock footages, it's really quick. Copyright should already be included, but always check. We haven't really used these tools yet because we find the results are a little bit mixed so far, but they're getting better. Okay, so now for the production of our videos, we've shown you AI tools that can be really helpful. So yeah, just in hindsight, so you can enhance your audio recordings with no additional hardware. You can generate voiceovers out of thin air if you want. You can remove filler words in a click. You can add virtual backgrounds for professional touch. And you can create graphics and videos with generative fill with minimum help from third parties. Now, so at this stage, we have produced our video and we're going to upload it to Consensus. So is that the end of it for AI application? Well, if it's up to us, it's not. So our videos are being used for a lot of different teams in MYOB. For example, our sellers, and we want them to be able to have higher value conversations with the customers as they go through the videos, or if they use them in any way for their demonstrations, or use the information from the videos. So we've decided to build a set of collateral documentation for every video that we use. And the idea is being that our videos can be used by anyone in the company, even people who are not consultants or people who are new to the company, for example, and with limited exposure, and they still can have these quality conversations just by looking at the collateral. So, and at the same time, this collateral can help us with naming our videos as well, which I'll show you in the next few steps. So what are we making and why? So we basically look at every video that we have, and then we feed that video or the script or the transcript from that video to our AI tools, and we have it create for us a summary of the video, value statements. So your key selling points, so to say, tags or information tags. So basically keywords from the video, and a talk track to walk through the video. So it's almost creating training material for us as well. Okay, now how do we create this material? So I've shown this tool a few times now, so I'm reverting to screenshots at this stage, but we feed it to our search engine, for example, or to Copilot, and we feed the script to it, and we ask it questions such as, for example, what value would this add to a business with a manual process? And it just looks at your video script, gathers information. It looks at information it already knows about the product, and it comes up with a list of value statements, like you see on the screenshot. Okay, so, and here you can see the output for a summary and our information tags as well. Now, we end up with not just a video, but proper documentation to go with it as well. So in a way, it strengthens all our assets that we have as well. And I want to talk a little bit more about the information tags as well, and how that can help us with naming our videos. Okay, so we can use AI to actually come up with a title for a video. So I want to remember that we have a tool that can search all the documents in our organization, and in Consensus as well, you can search. So the more efficient we name our videos, the more easier they'll be to find. So, and one thing that we realized is that there's so much more potential in the way we name our videos and how AI can help us there. So previously, I want to show you how we named our titles before we started this process. So we had for those familiar with Consensus, you might know that there's an internal and an external title. So external is what the customer sees. Internal is what everyone within the company sees. So on the screen, you see our internal and our external title. They were just the same. So the name of the product, the function or the vertical, and then the title of the video basically. And then as a description, we had a quick blurb written by one of our consultants. So now we wanted to use AI to give the external title a really attractive name for customers that they see, like a call to action almost, or really inviting to watch that video. While at the internal title, we wanted to make it easy for our people to actually find those videos. So highlighted on the screen, and I hope this comes across right, is after AI, what our internal titles look like. So we've included the title of the product, then the function or the workspace, the customer journey stage, and then the duration of the video. And then here are the information tags that we've created in the previous process. So it's not exactly an inviting title, but it's jam-packed with information, making it easy to find that video that you need. So if we have anyone looking for a mobile app or payslip, then this video will come up. Now on the second line, you'll see the external title. So that's way more exciting, so to say, like a customer seeing that if they're keen to see that topic, they'll be excited because it's like there's an exclamation mark in there and it's inviting. Like hopefully they'll feel the need to open that video. And then at the bottom, you'll see an AI created summary or value statement, which again loops back to the list of collateral that we've made. So, and I hope I've painted a clear picture on how we tie those tools together and how we use and reuse our AI-generated content across our platforms. So with relatively little cost and effort, you'll be able to create these assets that can be used in different departments as well. And everything can be reused later as well by AI. So this documentation goes back into our file storage and in time gets picked up by the AI again. So everything we create strengthens our assets. Okay, so yeah, I think we got time for this one as well. This is more me wishfully thinking. We haven't really started this process yet, but for those familiar with Consensus, you'll know that there's an option to add personal videos as well. And one thing that we found is that the use of personal videos is actually hugely beneficial. Like both Consensus numbers and our own statistics confirmed that if you include a personal video to your video, then the view rate can go up to 40%. These are real statistics. So we were super impressed by that. So personal video is basically you recording yourself as a salesperson, for example, following up with a customer and saying, hey, thanks for the meeting today. Here's the video there. Thanks, James. We'll get in touch. So now, can we use AI there? It's a bit of a dilemma there because we want to keep it personal. So we want to address the customer. We definitely do not want to automate this process. But one way you could use AI here is by a collection of the tools I've discussed earlier. So you can record and transcribe a discovery meeting with the client, then ask AI to create a one paragraph with dot points that you spoke about, summarizing the discovery call, and then put on a virtual background as well. So, and if you want to, you can boost the audio. So within a few minutes, you'll have some talk points for your personal video, like a mini script you can use, make it look really good and still keep it personal. So that's how I personally envision personal introduction videos in the future. Very important to keep it personal, though. And hopefully this is the context where we'll continue using AI. So looping back all these assets that we've created in every stage of the video. Okay, so the post-production. So in the previous steps, we've shown you, and hopefully you get a good idea of how we enable these valuable conversations about the videos that we've created. So it doesn't end with just a video. We create collateral as well. And all that collateral is searchable and becomes training material also, and helps us with extensive titles. Sorry, I've got a bit of a cold. So. Now, key takeaways from today. We've spoken, first of all, about how we use AI in the business in NYB to gain visibility. And I put key takeaways in there. That's a mistake, sorry. How we can get insights and action points. Then we looked at the pre-production, so preparation for your video, and how you can identify content gaps with AI, create topic opportunities, write script drafts, and summarize meetings. Then the production of our videos. So we looked at enhancing your audio or generating professional voiceovers, remove filler words, add virtual backgrounds, create graphics and videos with generative fill. Then in post-production, we had a look at, like I mentioned earlier, creating these valuable conversations, these resources, really enhancing, squeezing the most out of your video titles as well, and enabling anyone to grab up a video, hit the ground running, using the summary, the key text, the value statements. Okay, now looping back to the start of the presentation. So let's jump to the year 2024. So perhaps kicking in an open door, but with the tools we got today, there's no need for phone calls, no emails out in the wild. You don't have to jump on the phone and ask permission for a company to to send you a copy of it. Naturally, we don't have to pay for researchers anymore. We can do it ourselves. And we don't need a courier to pay. Definitely not. That's all history. So with AI, like I've shown you, you can boost your own audio if you want, make your own voice sound professional, or actually narrate with a AI generated voice. Graphic designers, we can use generative imaging for if we want to, and including text graphics as well. And the whole admin process behind it, well, I hope I've demonstrated today that there's a lot of that can be automated. A lot of AI can be used for insights for existing documentation already. Now, this is a bit of a hobby of myself, is photography, and sometimes people ask, like, do you have a good camera? What's your camera? And I always say, like, a camera didn't take a great picture, and any more than a typewriter wrote a great novel, which is a quote from the 70s from Peter Adams. I wanted to use that for this presentation as well, just to show that there's always a people factor involved with the AI. So don't worry about jobs. We're also going to need people to drive this data. But having said that, when I looked at the quote, I realized that AI can kind of sort of create great pictures, and they can write a novel. It's up for discussion if they can create quality. This quote wasn't really applicable anymore. Interesting. Now, before we go to the QA, I just would like to launch a poll, and any of these tools discussed, if you've seen anything in there that you find interesting, that you consider using or that you're already using, you can vote for that tool. You can have multiple selections, and I can see now that the poll has been opened. So let's give people 30 seconds or so to have a look at the tools. If you're not really sure what the tool stands for, drop it in the chat. I'll have a look. Okay, let's have a quick look. Yeah, it's good to see. I think with the poll, it stands out that people are interested in the search tool and the script writing, the audio enhancement, and yeah, writing the collateral. So getting summaries, getting value statements, getting information tags. Personally, I think for me that stand out as well. Like when we started using the search tool, for example, at our company, personally, at first I thought like, where's the AI factor in that? Until you realize that you're not just searching, you're interacting with every resource you got available. You can ask it questions as well. So do we have a clear winner? Script writing has got the most votes out of all of them. Definitely saves a lot of time. Yeah. I agree. That takes off a big pressure, even if you just use it for a first draft, a starting point. Very helpful. Okay. Let's leave the poll open, but I am more than happy to move to Q&A. Also, if anyone would like to know a bit more about what tools we've been using, like I've avoided names in this presentation, but yeah, reach out. We can always let you know. Okay, so that's the end of my slideshow. So I'll stop sharing. And Lindsay, are you okay? There you are. Thanks. Are you okay if we just move
Yeah,
to
we've
the
got some
Q&A?
great. Yeah, we've got some great Q&A going on. I'll go down to, we did get a question, I'll just address it now, about accessing the recordings, especially Robin's, because I know it's fun to go back and re-listen. And those will be available on Thursday at 4 p.m. Mountain Time in the platform. And you'll also receive an email on Friday. So we'll get that question out of the way. So Callum asked, have you got any tips for writing a script with the use of an AI voice? Question mark. I find what looks like it cut off. Oh no, read more. I find the way I is vastly different than the way I speak, which is interesting.
Yeah, and that's a very good question, Callum. And I agree with that. It's even something I ran into while preparing this presentation. Like the way we speak is very different from the way we write, which is why there are so many very talented copywriters, screenplay writers as well. So yeah, the way you present something or the way your voice works or the way we communicate is very different from the written word. So that's something with AI you can test as well. Like I find the AI engines are getting quite intelligent that you can ask it, for example, like write a script from a television point of view, or write a script from a demonstration point of view, or write a script with a conversational tone, and it will pick up on that as well. Or you can ask like keep a professional tone in your script. So that's one way to experiment with. But it's I definitely agree, and that's where I found when GPT tools started to come on the market, they were so wordy. Like when you asked it for a scenario or a screenplay or a script, it came up with all these words, and it's like, this is all nice, but how can you narrate it that way? Because people just don't speak that way. Artificial voices are quite good with trumping out this really long text as well. So it could be a combination. If you find the script a bit too technical or too wordy, put it in an AI tool and it will pronounce it for you because it's all automated. So two different ways to approach it. Julia is asking, can you confirm that Consensus does search on both titles and description? Yes, actually I can, because we tested that for a different application. We wanted to include tours, the functionality from Consensus called tours, but we wanted to be able for us to search and type in tour in the search bar, but without having the word tour in the title. And so we put the word tour in the description, and that worked. So yes, I can confirm actually it does look at both titles and descriptions as well. Bradley's asking, the same question. Yeah. Okay, Bradley, I hope I've answered that for you. So does Consensus search only the title? Could the text be in the description? I do want to stress that I don't work for Consensus, so I could be wrong. You could ask Lindsay as well, but from our testing, it did.
We also have a session about road mapping sometime during Demo Fest. So if you're curious about those kind of questions, you from our CPO for our roadmap.
Excellent. I'll check in for that one as well. And Kat had a question: how do we access the recorded version of these sessions after? And thanks, Lindsay, for addressing that.
Yeah, of course.
Well, I want to thank everyone for attending the session. And Lindsay, thank you for hosting and Consensus.
Yeah, this was great. I think we still have the poll open, so I'll go ahead and close that for you guys. But looks like you guys are using quite a bit of the AI tools. You may the session survey has been released, so we'd love to hear from you guys on how the session went and feedback just in general. I'm checking the chat one more time to make sure we're not missing. Oh, Katie, yes, a consensus roadmap on Thursday. Thank you. Great presentation from Robin. Everybody seems to agree, and I agree with them. So beautiful. Awesome. Well, you guys are still welcome to put some questions in the chat by all means. But in the meantime, let me share with you our next steps here. So if you thought this was great, the virtual demo fest, then I can't recommend enough to see if you can come to one of our live events. We had a great time in San Francisco in February, and we can't wait to bring content like Robin's and everything to the rest of you in London and in New York City again later this year. So you can register to join us at either of these events at demofest.com or at the link in the docs tab right of your screen. We also encourage you to stop by our expo hall to visit our premier partners of DemoFest. Remember, there is no transfer of money involved in this event, so all of our partners here have gone above and beyond to contribute to making this event a success for all of you and keep it free. So thank you to our partners. And then, of course, thank you all for joining us for this session, and especially Robin for the valuable insight and knowledge. That's all we have for today. So we will see you all tomorrow at our keynote session with Keith Tanaka at 8 a.m. Mountain Time. Super excited for this session, and we can't wait to see you guys tomorrow. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much. Bye.